Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers: Cyrus crosses the wrong family, and his attack on Brad infuriates Selina. Cyrus Renault is becoming annoyed with Brad Cooper. Brad appears to be everywhere, and Cyrus is terrified of being exposed as General Hospital's Digitalis killer do of him. Unfortunately, it appears like Selina Wu may set out to eliminate Cyrus if he strikes Brad. Is Cyrus crossing the wrong family this time? Cyrus Renault targeted Brad Cooper. Brad Cooper has a habit of sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Unfortunately, Brad has called Cyrus out for being in the hospital after being banned by Portia Robinson. Of course, Cyrus has set his sights on Brad after his altercation and subsequent threats to contact the cops. Cyrus has been prohibited not only from the hospital, which is hampering his mission of mercy, but also from turning woods. The director, Paul Ferner, refuses to tell Cyrus who warned them about Cyrus's dangers. Of course, Cyrus is already convinced he knows who is doing it. Cyrus Renault is planning Brad Cooper's demise. Cyrus needs to get Brad out of the way and is undecided on which path to take. Brad has a criminal record, therefore framing him for his crimes would be an excellent solution. However, with Brad gone, Cyrus would be forced to cease killing people. As a result, Cyrus is clearly considering option 2, which is to kill Brad like his former victims. Cyrus has no trouble acquiring scrubs and medication at the hospital. Cyrus previously served as the hospital's administrator, and he even removed the majority of the security checkpoints. Cyrus even ensured that all of the cameras were removed several years ago. Cyrus has worked out a way to cover up his conduct if Brad disappears. Cyrus Renault has Elizabeth Baldwin and Jocelyn Jacks on his hit list already. Brad, on the other hand, has devised a strategy to put himself in their path. However, going for Brad could prove to be a major mistake. Brad is Selina's nephew, and he would not hesitate to make Cyrus pay for going after her family. Cyrus could find himself confronted with his biggest dread. How could Cyrus enjoy being shot with Digitalis, just like his victims? Will Selina be the one who brings Cyrus to justice? Has Cyrus crossed the wrong family and gotten himself arrested this time? Will Cyrus succumb to a deadly dose of Digitalis? General Hospital spoilers: Michael Corinthos' storyline return and what fans can expect. According to General Hospital spoilers, Michael Corinthos quit soap serial plots abruptly. After suffering third-degree burns in late January, he was transferred to a recovery clinic in Germany, which was an amazing approach to pave the road for his homecoming. But when can fans expect to see Michael return to Port Charles, and will Chad Duell reprise his role, or will it be recast? Here's everything we know so far. Michael Corinthos is likely to come back in 2025. There were numerous hints concerning Michael's comeback during the Monday, February 10th program. First and foremost, Carly Spencer explained that her kid was adjusting well to his treatment in Germany. This appears to indicate that Michael's condition will improve and he will be able to return home soon. He chose the innovative treatment center over the one closer to home, so his prospects of returning to town sooner rather than later are much higher. This was the reason for the facility he chose. Not to mention that on Monday's episode, Martin Gray spoke with Willow Tate Corinthos about the child custody dispute, and Nina Reeves was present. Martin pondered how they should proceed with the couple's divorce case, which Michael had filed prior to his accident. Nina recommended that instead of retaliating straight away, it could be better to wait until Michael heals. She was most likely hoping to keep Willow wedded to Michael and away from Drew Quartermaine for a little longer. Everyone seems to believe that Michael will heal completely and that he will be back in Port Charles soon. Recast versus Chad Duell return in the land of soaps: anything is possible. Michael may fully recover, return home, and get into an accident on his trip from Germany, exiting stories for good. Still, it appears that Michael will return shortly, possibly in time for the May sweepstakes. Right now, the character is central to the plot, and a splashy comeback in which he swoops back in to disrupt Willow and Drew's romance appears conceivable. Not to mention how sticky things would get with Sasha Corbin, given that he is the father of her child. But will Michael return as a recast, or will Duell return? That scenario is fully up to the performer. According to some of his interviews, Duel appears to have needed a vacation from work to focus on himself. However, the length of that sabbatical is unknown. When do you believe Michael will return? Join the conversation below. General Hospital spoilers: Jordan plays Sidwell like a fiddle, but Lucy could ruin everything. General Hospital spoilers reveal that love, lies, and espionage are on the way. Jordan Ashford gets caught up in a clandestine mission against the enigmatic Jen Sidwell, and Port Charles is abuzz with the latest plot twists. Meanwhile, romantic sparks are burning between Jordan and the mysterious Dr. Isaiah Gannon, but their growing romance could be ruined by Lucy Coe's legendary jealousy and her own machinations for Sidwell's attention. Can Jordan execute this undercover operation with style and charisma if Lucy is out to sabotage her strategy at every turn? General Hospital spoilers: romance blooms expect Jordan to play with fire as she gets closer to Sidwell in the hopes of discovering why he has relocated to Port Charles. Meanwhile, she'll have to conceal her growing feelings for Isaiah if they're to pull this off. There is no denying their chemistry. Whenever Jordan is around, Isaiah's eyes light up, and the feeling appears to be reciprocated. They've been exchanging hidden looks, stolen moments, and goofy smiles that can't be kept off their faces, hinting at a romance that could blossom if only the pandemonium of Portchuck would let it. GH spoilers: Jordan cannot stay behind her desk, but let's get to the actual intrigue: Jordan's secret plot. To be honest, we know she misses the investigative aspect of her life. She's been tasked with figuring out what Sidwell is up to in town, and she's doing it smartly. She aims to uncover his actual motives by cozying up to him and convincing him that she is on his side. No one knows she has acquired such an interest in Isaiah, who shares her concerns, and Sidwell has no suspicions about her partnership with Mayor Laura Collins. They're all in agreement that Sidwell is a snake in the grass, but Jordan's method entails a delicate dance of deception to make her devotion appear to be with Sidwell. Will he fall for her dupe? General Hospital spoilers: Lucy's meddling puts everyone in danger. Enter Lucy, the queen of chaos herself. Her envy knows no bounds, especially when it comes to someone as charming as Sidwell. Lucy has her gaze fixed on him, possibly considering him as another prize to add to her collection of conquests. However, her interest in Sidwell is more than simply vanity. There is a sophisticated plot hidden beneath her fluttering eyelashes. Lucy is likely to unintentionally sabotage Jordan's well-constructed trap in her quest to capture Sidwell's heart. She's too eager, too blatant. She may explicitly criticize Jordan and point out the deception she's attempting to pull merely to keep the space she believes she's carved out in Sidwell's worth for herself. Lucy's intervention could not only ruin Jordan's objective, but it could also endanger her if Sidwell discovers the true game being played. Danny's mission, Emma's connection, Jordan's dangerous plan. Prepare for action, drama, and shocking revelations on General Hospital today. Danny Morgan is outraged at Sam McCall's murder. Emma Drake Scorpio bonds with Kai Taylor. Curtis Ashford tells Jordan Ashford about her dangerous justice project. Curtis Ashford's Fear the preview footage begins with Jordan and Curtis. As the two sit and talk over drinks, Curtis attempts to provide a warning. Curtis is aware of Jordan's plot to go after Jen Sidwell. Jordan used to be a cop, but she is not doing this in an investigative role. Jordan is only exploiting Sidwell's interest in her to acquire information that would hopefully lead to his downfall. However, Curtis warns Jordan. Curtis advises Jordan to just decline Sidwell's request. Willow Tate Corinthos relief is over with Willow Tate Corinthos. She is still discussing her divorce from Martin Gray. Willow's lawyer has informed her that Michael Corinthos' divorce petition is quite tough. Martin believes Willow needs to locate ammunition. However, in a preview clip, Willow appears glad that she no longer has to conceal her romance with Drew Kane Quartermain. Surprisingly, the tabloids have yet to devour Drew and Willow alive. Christina Corinthos Davis Red Alert: General Hospital spoilers hint that she will contact someone regarding Avery Corinthos. Christina prevented Ava Jerome from taking Avery when she wasn't supposed to. Christina warned Ava that if Sonny found out, she'd lose Avery. Today's episode appears to feature Christina taking action. Christina is alone and makes a phone call from the park. Christina says it's about Avery, so the phone goes to either Sonny or Diane Miller. Emma Scorpio Drake's proposition expects Emma to connect with Kai. Trina Robinson is a positive influence who is assisting Kai following his life-altering injury. Emma, on the other hand, has a potentially bad proposition for Kai. Danny Morgan's justice quest is over, and he urges to Rocco Falconeri that he find him right away. With Danny aware that Cyrus Renault is a top suspect in Sam McCall's death, may he make a risky move? Meanwhile, Lucky Spencer is questioning Elizabeth Liz Baldwin. Sonny advises Natalia Ramirez that he needs to have someone look out for him. Sasha Gilmore Corbin begs Jason Morgan to be her phony baby daddy. GH spoilers, for a few lucky PCs, unexpected love blooms this February. According to General Hospital spoilers, February is the month of love, and it appears that a few of Port Chuck's best residents may find their way into one other's hearts this month. This is excellent news among fans, as many residents have just experienced heartbreak, and we're ready for the dreary skies to clear a bit. While it's unclear who will fall in love this month, we're sure to enjoy the drama that surrounds almost every GH love tale. General Hospital spoilers, Jason steps up for Sasha. Let's chat about Jason Morgan, our resident stone-cold heartthrob. Jason, who is better known for his loyalty than his love life, has taken on an unexpected new position. Sasha Gilmore Corbin, who has gone through her fair share of tragedy, has found an unexpected ally in Jason. Jason's protective instincts kicked in when he found out Sasha was pregnant with Michael Corinthos' child. What began as him simply watching out for her may develop into something more. Could this be the start of a slow-burn romance, or will Jason's complicated past with Carly Spencer derail this fledgling relationship? Watching Jason navigate these seas will be delightfully unpredictable. Tracy Quartermaine, the matriarch with a heart of gold plating beneath that steely exterior, appears to have her attention drawn by none other than Marty Gray. He has sparked something in Tracy that we have not seen since her time with Luke Spencer. It may begin as a distraction or a means to take her mind off the family problems at the mansion, but there is a spark there, people. Tracy may initially perceive this as a strategic alliance, but might it develop into something more personal? Watching these two navigate the waters of prospective romance, complete with catty banter and back and forth, will undoubtedly be a highlight of February. General Hospital spoilers, Brooklyn steps back. Then there's Brooklyn Quartermaine. After a storm of misery has hit her and her husband, Harrison Chase, it may appear that she is off limits as a married lady. Brooklyn's mind has been rehearsing the birth of her first kid on repeat, and her husband has no idea about the child she gave up for adoption, Dante Falconeri's child. To be honest, neither does Dante. However, Brooklyn may find herself fleeing her troubles rather than confronting them this February, instead plunging headfirst into a grief-filled tryst with Dante. Without a doubt, this would be a move designed to alleviate their anguish on all sides. Sure, Chase's heart would be destroyed, but is there anything left between Brooklyn and Dante that can be revived? A legacy of secrets, Brooklyn and Dante's hidden child shakes up Port Charles. Port Charles had seen its fair share of terrible revelations, but nothing could have prepared the Quartermaine mansion for the news that was about to come. Lives were about to be ripped apart, relationships challenged in ways no one could have predicted, and trust, which was already frail, would be shattered beyond repair. Brooklyn Quartermaine and Dante Falconeri were at the center of this chaos, two people with a convoluted past, but nothing could prepare them for what was about to happen. They were parents. Not in theory. Not in a faraway, hypothetical what-if situation. No, they were already parents, and had been for a long time. What's the stunning twist? Neither of them had known the entire truth. Brooklyn gave birth to a child. Dante had inadvertently been living in the same house as that child. What about the genius behind it all? Lois Cerullo. A grandmother's devotion may be strong, as could her ability to manipulate a situation when she thought she was working in the best interests of her family. And Lois had done exactly that, keeping her own grandson, Giovanni Gio Palmieri, a secret from everyone, including his own mother. The consequences of this revelation would be nothing short of disastrous. Dante Falconeri, shocked by the truth. Dante's discovery was a stomach strike unlike any other. He'd spent years figuring out his connection with Brooklyn, sometimes as friends, sometimes as something more. They had history, passion, and most importantly, a connection. And now he was told that relationship had produced a child? Not just a child, but his child. A youngster had been right in front of him the entire time, living in his home and existing in his world without his knowledge. The betrayal was severe. Dante was not only angry, he was saddened. He had always believed in being honest and doing the right thing. He had dedicated his life to defending the law and being the type of man that others could rely on. And yet, the person he previously trusted the most had withheld something so monumental from him. His initial reaction was explosive, fury, bewilderment, and sadness. How long? That was the one question he couldn't stop asking. How long did you know? However, the truth was far more convoluted than Dante could have imagined. Brooklyn had also not known the whole truth. Brooklyn Quartermain, a mother betrayed. Brooklyn's world was devastated by the news, which did more than simply break her heart. She had always known she had made a decision years ago, one she believed was hers to make. When she discovered she was pregnant, she struggled with the decision, thinking whether she was prepared and whether bringing a kid into her chaotic world was the best thing to do. In the end, she convinced herself that placing her child for adoption was the right choice. However, she was now informed that her decision had not been totally her own. Lois Cerullo had interfered. Her own mother, the woman who had reared her and been her greatest protector, had gotten involved in something she had no control over. Lois knew where her grandchild was all along. She had carefully planned events to ensure Gio was placed in the greatest possible household. And worse? She'd withheld that information from Brooklyn. Brooklyn wasn't simply angry. She was devastated. How many nights had she spent awake wondering where her child was, if they were safe, and if they were happy? How many times had she wished she knew, only to discover that her own mother already knew the answers? It was pure betrayal. And now Brooklyn had to deal with the fact that her child had been right there, so close but so far away. Lois Cerullo, a grandmother's deception. Lois has always felt she understood what was best for her daughter. And she believed she had done the right thing. She had witnessed Brooklyn struggle and fail in ways that only a mother could completely understand. She had realized that raising a child at that point in her life would be too much. So she'd made a choice. A decision she now had to defend. However, Lois was not the only one who had dirty hands. Because the further the secret went, the more knotted the web became. Sonny Corinthos, a silent player in the game for years, Sonny Corinthos took delight in knowing everything that happened in Port Charles. Secrets did not last long when Sonny was involved. So, how did he miss this? Or did he? As more evidence emerged, it became brutally evident that Sonny knew more than he admitted. Sonny recognized something about Gio from the time he arrived in town. Something familiar. And it found out that Sonny knew Joe's adoptive mother. Not only in passing. Not only through whispers in the street. He had known her personally. More importantly, he had covertly supported Joe's schooling for several years. The question wasn't whether Sonny had hidden this from Brooklyn and Dante. The question was why. Was it because he, too, felt he was protecting them? Or was there something deeper, more intimate, going on? Olivia Quartermain is caught between love and loyalty. Olivia Falconeri Quartermain was never one to remain silent when it came to protecting her family. She had spent her entire life advocating for Dante and being his staunchest supporter. And now she's learning that her best friend, Lois, was involved in one of Dante's most devastating betrayals? Olivia was unable to forgive that. She adored Lois, but she loved Dante more. And after she discovered the truth, she made it abundantly apparent where her loyalty were. "I don't care what you thought you were doing," Olivia exclaimed, her voice husky with hardly restrained wrath. "You don't get to make that decision for him. You do not get to make that decision for Brooklyn. You do not get to make that decision for any of us." But the harm was already done. The question now was, where do they go from here? Fallout, a family in ruins. The Quartermains were not new to scandal. The Falconeris had experienced their fair share of hardship. The Corinthos family built its empire on secrecy. But this? This was different. This was personal. Dante and Brooklyn had to accept the fact that their lives were based on lies. Lois had to confront the fact that in her efforts to protect her family, she had torn them apart. Sonny had to explain why he had remained silent. And Gio? Gio had to deal with the fact that the people he had grown up believing had kept the truth from him his entire life. Where do they go from here? Port Charles had witnessed numerous storms, but none like this. Could Dante and Brooklyn reconcile after this? Would Lois ever be forgiven? And maybe most crucially, what would Gio do now that he knew the truth? One thing was certain, things will never be the same again. Willow's reckoning, betrayal, manipulation, and the cost of her decisions. Port Charles had never been nice to people who want a quiet, regular lifestyle. When someone let their guard down, the town had a way of causing mayhem and altering their world into something unrecognizable. Willow Corinthos understood this better than anyone. A year earlier, her life had been stable, albeit a little uneventful, at least by Port Charles standards. She had a beloved husband, Michael Corinthos, 2 lovely children, and a future that appeared stable and safe. However, stability tended to lull individuals into complacency. In the universe of General Hospital, being complacent was dangerous. Now, the lady who once embodied grace and virtue was making decisions that had alienated almost everyone who had ever cared for her. Willow had chosen a course that could not be reversed, one lined with deceit, treachery, and desire, all centered on one guy. Drew Quartermain. Her husband's uncle. The one person she should have avoided. And now, as she gazed about, she realized something that gave her a shudder. She was all alone. A forbidden choice that changed everything. At first, it was just a shoulder to depend on. Drew had always been present, willing to listen. He had helped Michael and Willow overcome innumerable challenges and been present when the weight of the world threatened to crush them both. But sometime along the process, the lines were blurred. It was no longer merely support. There was something more. Something made her heart rush in a manner she hadn't experienced in years. Something made her rethink everything. Michael had always been her safe haven. What about Drew? Drew was hazardous. And, for reasons she couldn't understand, she had chosen danger over safety. Willow had made her decision even though Michael was miles away in Germany recovering from 3rd-degree burns. She had picked Drew. In doing so, she burned down every bridge she had ever built in Port Charles. Drew Quartermain, a man with an agenda. Drew mastered the art of portraying the victim. To the outside world, he was the good man who had been wronged, betrayed, and forced into an awful circumstance. But the truth was much deeper than that. Drew hadn't just started this friendship with Willow. He had orchestrated it. He knew exactly what he was doing from the start, planting the right words at the right moment, capitalizing on Willow's doubts, and weaving himself into her life until she viewed him as her only choice. And suddenly he had all he wanted. Michael was out of the picture. Willow was his. However, Drew never felt like he had enough control. He needed to make sure no one could take it from him. That meant eliminating every potential hazard. Nina Reeves, a wild card with too much to lose. Nina Reeves was the only person who could bring Drew's carefully crafted world crashing down. Drew knew it. Their past was interwoven with secrets, betrayals, and hidden truths, and Nina, who had once been drawn to him, now saw him for who he was. A manipulator. A liar. A threat. What scared Nina the most was not just Drew's deception of Willow, but how casually he did so. She'd witnessed the same tactics used on her. The whispered assurances. The confessions were well-timed. The appearance of honesty that concealed deliberate dishonesty. But exposing him would mean losing everything she'd built with Willow. And losing Willow would be a devastating blow that Nina might never recover from. Drew's greatest weapon is the truth that he twists to his advantage. Drew was not terrified of Nina. Not in the manner he should have been. Because he possessed what she lacked, the power to transform the truth into a weapon. He knew that if Nina ever tried to tell Willow the whole story, he'd turn it into something much worse. He could make Nina look like the villain. He may instill uncertainty in Willow's mind. He could turn mother against daughter with just a few cleverly placed remarks. And the worst part? It would work. Willow wanted to believe in him. She needed to think that she hadn't ruined her entire life over a falsehood. Carly Spencer is an unlikely ally in the battle to save Willow. Carly Spencer was the one person who refused to allow Drew continue his manipulation unchecked. She'd witnessed what powerful men were capable of. She had learned the hard way that sometimes the individuals you trusted the most were the ones who might cause the most harm. And, while Carly had never been Willow's biggest fan, she wasn't willing to allow Drew ruin another life just to fulfill his own needs. For once, Carly and Nina shared a single aim. They'd both lost loved ones to dishonesty and betrayal. And if they had to team together to safeguard Willow, so be it. But will it be sufficient? Because Willow wasn't simply entangled in a web of deceit. She had chosen to stay there. The road ahead, Willow's breaking point. Every falsehood eventually crashes. Every deceit unravels. Willow was approaching that time quickly. The question was not whether she would learn the truth about Drew. The question was what she planned to do with it once she had it. Will she eventually see him for who he was? Would she run back to Michael and beg his forgiveness? Or was she already too far gone, too deeply enmeshed in the lies, to ever find her way home? One thing was certain. Port Charles had witnessed scandals, betrayals, and broken hearts before. But has Willow Corinthos fallen from grace? That was supposed to be a historic moment. General Hospital spoilers, Danny says these 8 words to Jason and Sasha. According to General Hospital previews, Danny Morgan will have a lot to process once Jason Morgan poses as the father of Sasha Gilmore Corbin's pregnant child. Danny may have 7 words for Jason and Sasha after the baby's secret is revealed, so let's talk about his reaction. After Sasha tells Jason to keep everyone assuming he made her pregnant, Jason eventually agrees. If it was discovered that Michael Corinthos also cheated on Willow Corinthos, that would be a significant custody setback. Jason wants to protect Michael and assist Sasha avoid more turmoil, so it makes logical to lean into this deception, which everyone already believes. However, GH teasers indicate that things may get complicated when it comes to Danny. Although Jason dislikes the thought of lying to his son, telling Danny the truth would be perilous. Sasha may demand that no one else knows Jason is not the genuine baby daddy, pushing him to lie Danny as well. If that happens, Danny will be tricked, along with everyone else, into believing he has a new sibling on the way. When Danny finds out, he may become delighted about the new family member. Danny may say these 7 words to Jason and Sasha once he learns about the baby: I'm going to be a big brother again. Of course, Danny is already Scout Quartermain's older brother, but he may be willing to take on the position again. After all, Scout is growing older and spending more time with Drew Quartermain these days. Danny may aspire to take a larger role in the life of his new little sibling, but Jason may have to put the brakes on. Sasha has made it plain that she intends to raise her child independently. Just because Sasha wants Jason to act as the father doesn't imply she wants him to be truly involved. Danny may be upset if he believes he won't have the opportunity to step up as a big brother once the baby arrives. However, our projections indicate that Jason's link with Sasha will improve in the following months, so Danny may still hope for some new sibling bonding. If Sasha and Jason become a full-fledged couple, they may be able to start a family together at least until Michael returns home and messes things up. According to General Hospital spoilers, Danny will have a lot to deal with nonetheless, so don't miss what's coming next. Josh Kelly has a new role on General Hospital, but is Cody leaving? General Hospital spoilers reveal Josh Kelly's new role, so is Cody departing GH? Some fans may be concerned now that Kelly is receiving primetime work, so let's discuss his latest assignment and his status on the ABC soap. Josh Kelly appeared as a guest star on CBS's NCIS Origins episode Monsoon on February 10th. Kelly's character assisted examine the death of a struggling veteran and contributed by pointing out some significant evidence in the case. Although it was a terrific role to score in, there is no sign that Josh Kelly will permanently switch from daytime to primetime. Kelly's position at GH appears to be secure for the time being, as this was only a temporary gig. The circumstances may change in the future, but we have good reason to believe Cody has a bright future in Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Cody's recent legal difficulties may lead to his falling in love. Since Cody was incarcerated and began communicating with ADA Molly Lansing Davis as a result, this may be the start of an exciting romance. Molly may use a new love interest now that she has split from TJ Ashford, and Cody could provide a road forward. Our forecast suggests that Cody will find a way to make more money soon, so we'll see if he reconsiders Selina Wu's offer or finds another lucrative opportunity. Regardless, Cody's situation should improve soon. It will be a pleasant departure from Cody's recent involvement in Sasha Gilmore Corbin's baby daddy drama. Cody needs to focus on his own life, so stay tuned for updates on what's next for his character. Will Cody fall hard for Molly and finally stay out of Sasha's personal affairs? Do you think Molly and Cody would make a hot couple? According to General Hospital spoilers, Cody is planning some big surprises, so let's hope for positive news and a fresh romantic start. Will Carly and Nina from General Hospital actually become friends? Could this be the start of a lovely friendship between Nina and Carly? Who would have expected Carly and Nina to collaborate on General Hospital only a few years ago? The enemies are devising a strategy, and it's impossible to predict how it will play out. Carly and Nina share a desire to keep Willow and their grandkids away from Drew. Nina proposes that the two grandmothers work together to make this happen. Carly was initially hesitant, but eventually agreed to collaborate with the enemy. The aim is to gain entrance to Drew's new home through Maxie, who is assisting him with decorating. This strategy is still in the works, so we don't know how they'll deter Willow from moving in by entering the house. It sounds like a wacky Lucy and Ethel idea, in which they believe the house is haunted. Willow will be enraged if she catches them, and it will only drive her deeper into her boyfriend's embrace. Frenemies. There is no love lost between these two battling grannies, but they share a goal, so they put their differences aside. Could this be the start of a beautiful friendship? Nina genuinely apologized to her enemy for convincing Sonny's family that he was dead and then snatching him from his wife. Carly was grateful since she never expected Nina to acknowledge she was wrong. That is now resolved, and they can resume their work. Carly has a history of befriending ladies who were formerly her foes. Sam and Elizabeth are wonderful examples. Then there's Nina's friendship with Ava. She stole the woman's baby from her womb, and now they are best friends. Given their pasts, a friendship between them is certainly possible. Even if they build a link, Nina's previous relationship with Drew could backfire and destroy things for her daughter and Carly. Nothing goes smoothly in Port Charles. Do you believe these foes will become friends? Please let us know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.